And editing that really, I hope some of you are aware about the editing part of it. It takes a lot of time, particularly these multimedia files. Editing takes a lot of time, and uploading the same from that editing software to your system, from then again uploading on YouTube, and all this takes a long time. And thus, in fact, the madam's video being more than an hour, so it was completed all, but only uploading part is left over, and we will be providing that uploading to YouTube, and then we will share the link. Thank you so much for your understanding. And I have received your messages both in Telegram group and WhatsApp group stating that yes, we are new to this system called technically the glitches. In spite of best preparedness, sometimes happens, right? So at this juncture, let me submit to you that I have kept 3 audio mics in last 1.5 to 2 years of my experience. Most of the times we have been facing with the audio mic, sometimes loose contact, sometimes battery. But camera, of course, understandably, I have 2-3 minor webcams, but only this relatively the best. So for all live and recorded videos at present, I have been using. Now, yesterday's experience said, now it is time for me to go for an alternative camera also. All right. So with these introductory words, summing up on how we have missed yesterday, but of course, we know that we are on scheduled time. CBSE, in spite of 1 week postponement of their session, they did not postpone the exam date. On the other hand, 16th December to almost 13th January, almost 28 days they took for any exigencies on a certain day. It is not available. On the next day they want to conduct, but it appears, it seems CBSE is particular on conducting CTET exams on that date, being a national level exam. Several lakhs of people are writing. They also have the limitations and constraints if they postpone it. So therefore, with these introductory words, I invite you all, because of these exigencies. Actually, today morning also I've tried once to give a trial live. There also I realized, oh, camera is working. The problem is not that, because we are recording and the records are being edited, but camera to be available for live got struck somewhere. Actually, it has got struck with one of our softwares, which is meant for editing. Actually, to give make it more professional, we thought of using that software, and camera we got set on the other day, Diwali holiday. We were working on that. It got struck there. So we got it back and we can go live. Because of these exigencies, there was a small communication gap, I understand, which has created some communication gap. So let me see, there is some messages. So I'll just share this message on our Telegram group and WhatsApp group, so that our regular live people will be joining and we can go ahead. All right. So let me share this on these 2 sources, mainly where I'm sharing these days the important, right? We are live now. Please join. Yeah, Abhi, if possible, can you share the link in the chat, so that, of course, link only people who have already joined will be able to see that. So therefore, I prefer I myself will share before we move forward. We are live now. You can join us. You can join us ASAP, as soon as possible. All right, this much message I will share, and with which we will go ahead. All right. So copy, send this, and let me share the same in the Telegram group before we formally move ahead. All right. That's the reason I was giving from the morning when I've shared this in the WhatsApp and Telegram group of Inspiring Teachers, we'll have a live 7 p.m. as usual. At that moment, really, to be frank, I was not sure how we are going to resolve, but I have prepared, because if not this system, altogether there is alternately another system with another web camera, which is not really of this clarity, this quality, but still it's okay. If audio is clear, a little quality of video at this stage, we were ready to compromise, but not to compromise with our live sessions. So that's the spirit we have been witnessing from our end. And also we are happy and thank you for your cooperation and understanding. All right. Yes. So our editor have shared this. Okay. Live class, this thing also, which I will share in these two respective groups, so that before we move forward, couple of days, bear with me today. It's 7/7 and 7:10. Formally, I'll be starting the session with the class. So until then, let's give these 2-3 minutes for people to get that and get in. All right. Yesterday, we have seen the kind of messages, their interest to join live on this session. So we are so thankful, because at least a few, except the camera, literally in front of us, nothing is there, but we understand the camera is equal or is representing you, hundreds and thousands of you. All right. Okay. Just 2 minutes. Let me get my specs also. Meanwhile, we will be going ahead. All right. So we'll be continuing live in just 1 or 2 minutes. All those who can join live, please do join. At 7:10, formally, I'm starting with CDP, Child Development and Pedagogy topic. See you back in 2 minutes. All right. I'm back with my specs. It's 7:09, 7:09 p.m., 7:10. As I announced, we will be formally going ahead with our CDP session. Meanwhile, those of you who have joined live, please do share your message so that we take up you on and we will go ahead. Let me, in my mobile also, start this live session so that I can get your messages. Right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, please add me in Telegram. Yeah, Mazbin, I don't mind because you are a known person. Adding you in Telegram is not an issue. Definitely, I do add you in Telegram. But otherwise, the preferred way is I am inviting the people. I'll send an invitation. Just join. Should you have any issue, I will be right. So, Swapna, thank you so much. Indeed, I can thank each one of you by name, but at least a few of the people who are very consistent, regular, and interacting in a two-way manner. So on behalf of all you, those who are attending these sessions live, I thank you. And Swapna Mezabin do represent you, people who are attending this, because they are regular, consistent, and most of you we know for practical reasons not able to attend live at the moment, but you have been watching, and so thank you. So how is it for you? Also, please do type in at least a small message after you watch the session so that we will get that. And should you require any updates, modifications, changes, also we can go. All right. So let me give one message, and yes, we are good to go and start. Okay. Welcome all. Welcome to live session. All right. Okay, for your convenience, I know I can talk hours and hours on the CDP Child Development and Pedagogy for last 25 years, at least 23 years, except the first 2 years of school service where I was teaching mathematics. Last 23 years, I have been teaching psychology, especially educational psychology, to B.Ed, D.Ed of regular students and in-service teachers, teachers from Usmania University correspondence course, Indira Gandhi National Open University correspondence course, and also NIOS, National Institute of Open Schooling, DELED. Once a golden opportunity were given for working teachers in the form of NIOS, DELED, and for that particular batch, and otherwise regularly in my college batch. And apart from that, as a guest faculty to various institutes and visiting faculty or otherwise a resource person for various programs, I have been teaching this. But what is important is for your examination point of view. End of the day, it should have the relevance. So from that point of view, I have prepared a brief notes, and so I'll just upload that notes. With the help of that particular notes, we will go ahead. And after the session, once this particular topic is done, I am going to upload that particular session also for you. I'll share this in your Telegram group, all right? So that you will be able to view once again after this session also, all right? So let me share my screen, and with the help of which we will be able to see that. Yes. Good evening once again, and welcome back to this child development and pedagogy session. In this, if you look at the syllabus, CDP, as you all know, both for paper 1 and paper 2, 30 questions, 1 mark each. Thus, it is 30 marks. And the first A, B, C, 3 parts are there in the CDP, Child Development and Pedagogy, which is named as A, Child Development. For your paper 1 syllabus, in brackets, what do you have is primary school child. And for your paper 2 syllabus, what it will be there in brackets of this child development is elementary school child. But as common syllabus all through the topics, as already I made slight differences in the form of question, depth of question, application of question, only those things. So I'm going to take up this session for the benefit of both paper 1 and paper 2. I know most of you are writing both paper 1 and paper 2. That's the reason today I have given one video, FAQs, frequently asked questions, which is already uploaded. After this session, you can see that's not a continuation for this session or anyway directly related to the content. It is in general because having applied and just some of you might have just started your preparation, but several $1 million questions may be coming. What are they? First, whether should I focus on paper 1 or paper 2, which is to be given priority. Of course, application is done and modification of any changes in the application is also over. All right. But what is to be done? Priority of giving time for paper 1 or paper 2. Let me make it clear. This 30 marks, the CDP 30, the English section 30, and the other language or any 2 languages you have taken. Mostly, I understand most of you except some of you have Hindi, English and Telugu from Telugu states, English and Hindi from Hindi, those who have mother tongue or the medium of study, English and Urdu, English and other regional language, state languages like Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, okay, Gujarati and Kashmiri, all right, Northeastern, each they have their own languages. Definitely, beautifully this time, CBSE has given 20 languages to choose from. Any 2 you can choose, thus you might have chosen. But definitely by and large, English being one of your language, that's the reason we have started with English, and other regional languages, as many as possible will be able to do. But definitely we are committed to provide support for the Telugu, Hindi, and other as many languages as possible for this season. For the coming seasons, it's my dream. We will have almost, if not all the 20, as many as possible. At least more than half a dozen to begin with for the coming season. Languages. Not only just language, it's my dream to offer this course in those many languages, because it's not just limited to CTET, even your State TET, various other teacher recruitment agencies recruiting exams like KVS, NVS, Gurukulas, Sainik Schools, Army Welfare Schools, etc. Local state government run UP, MP, Madhya Pradesh, South Indian states, and all those. So keeping in view, we have a larger plan. That's the reason I was saying it's not just this TET is over. Okay, it's done, bye bye, tata, bye bye. No, that's not my dream. That's not the intention of this. And it's not the limitation of only TET TRT. I know both together government and private schools are going to accommodate only 30 to 40%. Still more than half of the well-trained teachers, qualified teachers, these human resources are not being utilized. Now what can be done? Now entering government, you know, the kind of competition. In the similar manner, entering private school also has got its own challenges. And not that those who enter this, there ends the matter. No, they also have their own professional challenges. So thus I am committed to support all this, you know, my own way, what is possible. That's the reason I'm not going to play this game all alone. I'm inviting all my friends who are good at supporting teachers, who have a good heart and commitment. We come together, and as a team, what we'll do is we are going to provide required support through your qualifying test like CTET or state level TET examinations, teacher recruitment exams. After that professional growth, you want to become a digital teacher, you want to offer your own course, you want to offer your own subject of favorite, not necessarily limited to only subject, even beyond the subjects. You are good at singing, art, dance, drama, dash, any of co-curricular areas. You want to offer to some of the children, you are passionate about it, you are committed for it. We are going to make it your dream come true within the limited resources, within the limited financial viability. We are going to help you, support you to go through. I hope indirectly I am communicating what I intended to do in a long run. with those brief introductory words, let us go ahead. The child development and pedagogy in this upcoming CTET December 2021. As usual, 30 questions, 30 marks, which has 3 parts, subparts under this child development, both for primary and elementary, that is paper 1 and paper 2. Very first subtopic there, if you could recollect, it is this. What is that? Concept of development and its relationship with learning. So what does it talk about? What is growth? What is development? What is maturity or maturation? What is its relationship with learning? Around these, definitely you will find 2 to 3 questions. So therefore, definitely it is important from both examination point of view and as well as from your professional development point of view. Because if you don't know, assume for a moment, a carpenter don't know the nature of the wood. What happens? Child comes and asks, uncle, prepare me a bat with very light. Then the lightest material he prepares, yeah, bat is very light, but in the first stroke, it will break down. So the carpenter should know the nature of the wood, a material with which he is working. Similarly, the potter should know the nature of the earth or the dust with which, clay with which he has been working. Otherwise, you see, our potters do not use the same clay for your regular pots and this summer season special cooling pots, Ranjan, or with various names we call them. Have you seen that? So therefore, they know, they study which area clay is suitable and useful for which particular purpose. So similarly, teacher should have an idea about growth, developmental characteristics of the children, and thereby we are going to facilitate the best possible. As you know, the role of modern teacher is facilitator, from friend, philosopher, guide. Of course, even today you have certain those roles, but the most on day-to-day basis, the most important, crucial, critical is a facilitator. So once as a teacher, you know the growth and developmental characteristics of those primary and elementary stages children, you will be in a good position to facilitate that growth and development. So with this, let's go ahead. What is growth? You all know the key term as far as growth is concerned is quantitative increment. Growth is quantitative increment in physical aspects mostly. For example, height, weight, body features, enlargement of internal body organs, etc. Particularly during teenage, adults, very close relatives, family, friends, when they visit, the most commonly asked question is, hey, so much you have changed within very short period. They just came your house. They did not talk to you. They did not see what you can do, what you cannot do. But they have recognized something. What is that? The quantitative increment. So this keyword as far as growth is the quantitative increment. Quantitative increment refers to growth. All right. There are several questions directly, indirectly asked on this. All right. So we are going to discuss some MCQs immediate after this related basic concepts are discussed. But to give you an example, okay, a child of 5th class, when health checkup is done, in the beginning it was shown his weight is 25 kilograms. At the end of the academic year, when the same was measured, it is shown 28 kgs. Now this refers to the following aspect, measurement of the child. Option A, growth. Option B, development. Option C, both the above. Option D, none of the above. Now, most of the cases when both the above, none of the above is, we are tempted to choose both the above. But here, did he speak anything about the development? Any qualitative changes were referred in the description of the question? That 5th class graders weight in the beginning assessment of the health, let us say in the first month of school reopen, was 25 kgs. And now after 8 months, it is 28 kgs. Where the increment? It is in quantitative terms. Hence, it's only growth. That is nothing to do with the development. Whether development happened or not was not described in that. So therefore, it's a direct growth. This is a basic normal question, can be asked in very short direct, or can be given this description and asked. But suppose if they want to twist it, turn it, make it critical for elementary level, higher level question, what will ask? A child's vocabulary at the age of 2 years was about 500 words. And now at the age of 2.5 years, he has acquired another 300 words. Now he is able to speak 800 words. This indicates option A, growth in language. Option B, development in language. Option C, both growth and development in language. Option D, it is neither growth nor development in language, only language acquisition. What do you say in that case? Yes. All right, you did guess is correct. It is both, because number of terms increased, and in the description also said he is able to use 800 words. Your ability to use the words is not just quantity. The number 500 to 800 is quantitative aspects, but the ability to use those 800 words as a part of the child's language shows, what is that? The qualitative improvement. So therefore, wherever qualitative improvement is also involved along with the quantitative increment, normally, all right? Because there are cases where qualitative change will come without quantitative change also. But otherwise, normally, as you know, growth and development go hand in hand. Both are complementary processes. Both progress in coordination. That's how it happens. But otherwise, yes. Development, it is qualitative process which brings functional improvement. However, growth is a part of it. Now, what is this? A child at the age of 1 year was able to walk with support only. At about 14 months, he is able to walk without support, and he has acquired a grip to stand and balance his body. Now, this shows which are the following aspects. Option A, growth. Option B, development. Option C, maturity. Option D, all of the above. Now, what do you go with the option? Yeah, quickly in 5 seconds or 10 seconds, just type in your responses. A child who was able to walk with the support after a few months is able to walk without support and hold the balance of his body. Now, here I am not saying his length in centimeters, any increment, or his weight in kgs or the grams. But you could see some change has happened. What is that? Functional improvement. Now, this functional improvement mainly indicates development. But please note that it's a typical question. Does this functional improvement come without growth? No. Naturally, in a few months, some growth also included. Growth also contributed. And as the age advances, naturally this ability is acquired, which is a concept known as maturity, maturation. All these are involved. So your fourth option is also given all the above. So the best answer goes to fourth. If you have given development also, it's okay to begin with now. You are going to get the more clarity by the end of this session and after, when we practice more MCQs, multiple choice questions, and also PYQs, previous year's questions. So with this basic, growth as a quantitative increment, development as a qualitative or functional improvement changes, how do you compare the growth and development? All right, let's see here. I'm sure you are able to see this table, growth and development. Yes, most of the questions around the growth and development are around this. All right. Yes, see, growth, qualitative, quantitative, whereas development is qualitative. All right. Growth is a quantitative phenomena, whereas development is a qualitative phenomena. Similarly, growth continues and stops after some time maturity. Does the child grow after teenage, 18 years, 21 years, 22 years? Height almost the same. Any growth is in your x-axis, right? In the weight. Height, by that time, it has reached its maturity. Whatever he could grow, he did grow. But what happens to development, which is a continuous lifelong process? A direct question is, which of the following continues up to some time and stops thereafter? Option A, growth. Option B, development. Option C, maturity. Option D, none of the above. And then what happens? Growth and also maturity, but continues up to some time and stops thereafter. For your kind information, the maturity, not only the physical aspects, also other functional aspects. So therefore, in such cases, if you were to choose between growth and maturity in this context, you'll be going ahead with this. Whereas the development, continuous lifelong process, womb to tomb. In some question, he is used this. From birth to death. In some other question, he used this term. It's a lifelong process. Another time, a question is asked using this term. Slight variation or the change in the terminology he has been taking and has been asked. All right. Does the development stops after B.Ed, PG, PhD? No, right? So therefore, we have to understand that. Anyway, we are going to practice some more questions. You will get further clarity on that. All right. Can be observed directly. Which of the following can be observed directly? Growth. What about development? Can be understood. Can observe indirectly. Sometimes here itself he has been playing a question. This which can be observed directly, which cannot be observed directly, was good old questions. Now they got open secret. So therefore what he is doing, which of the following statement is true with regard to development? Option A, it can be observed directly. Option B, it cannot be observed at all. Option C, it can be observed indirectly. Option D, sometimes it can be observed and sometimes it cannot be observed. Now, where does this fourth has come? Those who did not prepare to the exam, those who did not have the conceptual clarity will be misled by this fourth option. That's the intention. Otherwise, yes, you can observe the development, but not directly like the growth, physical height and weight. For example, the language development, social skills, emotional stability, moral values, learning. After this class, definitely your weight will not become either 100 grams or 50 grams more. Neither any observable change will come in your brain, but you think about the concept of growth and development. Your way of facing questions related to this concept definitely are going to change, modify. have a qualitative change, functional change, improvement, betterment, ease, comfortable, preparedness, confidence. Now all these are what? Qualitative changes which can be observed indirectly. Yes, they can be observed indirectly. All right. Okay. Then growth being quantitative, this can be measured accurately, whereas development assessed approximately. Here also, if you look at the previous questions, he is playing like this. Okay. Which following statements, as far as growth is concerned, is not true? Option A, it can measure accurately. It cannot be measured accurately. It can only be assessed approximately. Only sometimes it can be measured. It can be measured accurately is the only true statement. And there's some true and false statements, descriptions, all this, he will combine or mix up and then will be giving us a question. All right. And another aspect on which the questions are asked as far as growth and development is concerned is growth is a limited concept, whereas development is comprehensive. See, when you have seen the examples in the above, for growth, height, weight, body features, and some enlargement of internal organs. But for development, you can give n number of examples. The social development, emotional development, moral development, language development, within that language, acquiring mastery of mother tongue, acquiring a second language, acquiring a third language, acquiring as many other languages as possible. All right. So all this is there as such. So therefore, we understand development is a comprehensive concept, whereas growth is a limited concept. Many a times questions were asked on this, both in CTET and various state level tests. Before we move further, I have summarized a few important related points as far as growth and development is concerned, on which mostly questions are asked. What is that? Though growth is quantitative, development is qualitative, or the functional improvement part, they are not different. In fact, the development includes the growth. Because say when the child walks, development has come, right? Legs length hasn't increased. I'm not talking about that. But what happens? It includes. Can you ask a 3-year-old child, hey, run marathon? If some of you are aware, Budia case has become a nationally an issue. At a very young age of 4 or 5 years, he was made to practice the marathon running. Because for the development, it includes growth. The beauty is a minimum level of, you observe this third point, a minimum level of growth is a prerequisite for the development to take place. Many a time see that child have learned already 12th table. You are in 4th class, still learning only 9 tables. That school may be teaching up to 15 tables. This school may be aimed at teaching up to 10 tables only. All right. Or child may be still understanding the number system, arithmetic operation system. So therefore, development requires a minimum level of growth. Then another second point important, where most of the times questions are asked, is this. Growth and development go hand in hand normally. There are exceptions, like in case of mentally challenged. But otherwise, normally growth and development go hand in hand. All right. So with this, a related concept, sometimes both in understanding the alternative options and otherwise it will be useful, we will see, that is maturation or the maturity. What is this? It is the process of natural development of an inborn abilities, that is innate abilities, irrespective of training. All right. As the age advances, whether you teach any language or not, from the babbling, one or two letter utterances, nonsense words, baba, dada, mama, papa, children do pick up the mother tongue, the socio-cultural, the local language, whether you send him to school or not. All right. So because we have attended the school and most of our schools follows the 3-language formula, right? The national language Hindi, the mother tongue or the local language, and the English. We have learned apart from our regional language or the mother tongue, Hindi, English, because we attended school. Suppose you never attended the school. You don't learn language? No, you do learn still. How it comes? Yes, as a maturity, as the age advances, your ability to listen, imitate, produce contextually, right? Initially, have you seen children saying, Dad will go yesterday? Nana repu poyindu. Right? Now, what is this? They acquired from, and then when you make corrections, of course, it goes on. So there are some natural innate abilities as human being, ability to acquire the language. LAD, language acquisition device. Noam Chomsky proposes many types of questions on pedagogy, in CDP, in other areas, and this is how human beings are able to speak. Why not the other animals? Because human species has an innate ability to acquire the locally spoken language, to imitate, repeat, and learn and use appropriately in the context. Now that whether you send him to school or not, whether grandparents, parents, uncles, aunts, sisters, brothers, family members, neighbors teach them or not, children are going to pick up this language as the age advances. As the age advances, child will not travel any longer after 6 months, 9 months normally. They try to stand up and walk. Whether you teach the walking training or not, it's okay. Whether you give him a tricycle, two-wheeler, or some other support or not, children acquire this ability as the age advances. So inborn abilities, unfolding, appearing, manifesting, coming out as the age advances. An important thing here is irrespective of training. A child learning foreign language is indication of which of the following? Option 1, growth. Option 2, development. Option 3, maturation. Option 4, learning. Now, what do you choose? Foreign language, I said, not mother tongue, nor the local language. Definitely, it is neither growth nor maturation. It is between the development and learning. All right. Yeah, these two are there, but if there is a competition between these two, we go for learning. Because it involves some training, it involves some experience, it involves external support. So, which is learning. All right. A child walking at the age of 1.5 years, with or without support, growth, development, maturity, none of the above, then definitely you choose yes, yes. 3. All right. So that's the reason I have given the following examples for maturity. Children first words, baba, dada, mama, tata, papa, such things. First step, ability to walk. Birds flying. Who taught the flying to birds? Who taught swimming to fish? So by that species called birds or fish, they do acquire that ability. For our children to teach swimming, you know how many difficulties in spite of the best of human abilities. Flying, though, definitely you require air wings, right? But birds naturally, fish naturally, as age advance, they do acquire this ability as a result of maturation. All right. Now, consolidating the most of the questions commonly asked in this area, I have given this table. Before we conclude, let me give you this brief description. Growth, development, and maturation are the maturity. All right. Okay. Chalo. Now see, growth, as already said, quantitative in nature, for example, height and weight. Development is qualitative phenomena, which is functional improvement. Now the question is, what maturation belongs to? Quantitative or qualitative? Here you can frame a question. Maturation indicates or belongs to which of the following? Option A, quantitative. Option B, qualitative. Option C, both the above. Option D, none of the above. Now, what do you choose then? Maturation, I'm not talking about the just quantitative. All right. As the age advances, that abilities are manifested. So it's again a qualitative phenomena. Maturation is a qualitative phenomena. Then growth continues up to maturity. Development, a lifelong process. Then what about maturation or the maturity? It also stops after certain age called maturity, physical maturity. Normally 18 years, 21 years in various areas it comes. Growth can be observed directly, as we have seen previously. Now what about development? Can be observed indirectly. Can be observed indirectly. Development cannot be observed. If you see some statement, which of the following is wrong about the development? Cannot be observed. Unfortunately, when I go through various materials, there are some books I have written also stating a statement. Growth can be observed, development cannot be observed. If development cannot be observed, we as a teachers cannot observe the child's learning, because learning is development. Emotional maturity, moral strength, language development. We can, but not direct, like height, weight, this many centimeters, this many grams increased. So vocabulary has increased this much, grams or centimeters. You can't say, but yes. The way how they use the words, the grammatical, the complex sentences usage, the contextual usage, sarcastic or appropriate use of the terminology. Now all this is a development which can be observed but indirectly. What about maturity? Maturation also can be observed indirectly, because it closely goes to qualitative changes more than the quantitative, that category. All right. Can be measured accurately. Which one? Growth. Growth can be measured accurately, whereas development can be measured approximately. If you see anywhere development cannot be measured, please note that that book was written by with a limited understanding of the concept. All right. It can be measured, but approximate, not accurate. Yes, development cannot be measured accurately. Can be approximately. Because the marks we give you to the children or the grades we give to the children, we know that it is not just accurate measurement of their learning outcome. Rather, it is an approximation. Because the same child measured, conducted the same test, once again, results tend to vary. If not the same test, comparable tests, set A, set B. In all aspects, including difficulty, familiarity, you have matched to the best possible, randomly or otherwise scientific method. Still, do you expect the same grade, same marks? No, right? Which means, does it mean we can't measure the learning at all? Then why are we conducting these exams? Can be measured, but approximately. All right. And in my experience, as far as these points are concerned, maturity was not asked. If suppose asked, go with this. Whatever applies to development applies to maturation, because the fundamental difference between development and maturation is maturation is also a kind of development which occurs naturally, irrespective of training. With training, development, that's the difference, that's all. Your ability to walk is maturity, age appropriately. Your ability to acquire catwalk, yes, that is development, because along with maturity, the training is involved in that context. Your ability to acquire your first steps, maturation. Your ability to walk fast, run fast, again, development. All right? Yes. Let's move on. The last point here. Minimum growth is a prerequisite of development. On the other hand, development encompasses growth. See, includes growth, encompasses growth. Growth is a part of development. These are the different terminology using. So referring to various sources and various books and various materials is another advantage. This is what the technical terminology you do get. But you should have the conceptual clarity for yourself, for which depend on one or two, either standard books or coaching centers or reliable faculty or very committed friends, limited one or two seriously preparing friends. And that will help you in the way going ahead. All right. Before I conclude, let me summarize this growth and development, few points. Almost last 10 years questions. Almost last 10-year questions will be around these points. See this, growth is a quantitative increment in physical aspects. Growth is a limited concept. Development is comprehensive. Development is qualitative process which brings functional improvement. Growth is a part of development. Growth and development go hand in hand normally, that is coordinated. Minimum level of growth is a prerequisite for a development to take place. Why I'm repeating this again and again? There was a question and you tend to get this kind of question. Which of the following statement is true with regard to the relationship of growth and development? Option 1, growth is a part of development. Option 2, growth and development are independent. Option 3, minimum level of growth is required for a development to take place. Option 4, minimum level of development is required for growth to take place. Now, what is it? Minimum level of growth is required for development to take place. That's the reason you don't teach abstract concepts to primary school children. Why? Yes, certain amount of growth in their nervous system, brain and other related organs is required. That's the reason we wait for that minimum level of growth to come. You don't teach hard yoga exercises for young children. For them, there are certain meant yoga postures which they can practice, but not for everybody. All right. Okay. Growth and development are interdependent. Yes, on this also several times question is asked. Though growth is quantitative in nature, development is qualitative in nature, but still they are interdependent. They are coordinated. They go hand in hand. They are complementary, not contradictory. Irrespective of training, inborn abilities manifestation is which of the following? Option A, growth. Option B, development. Option C, maturity. Option D, all of the above. What do you choose? Yes, just mark your answer. Irrespective of training, inborn abilities unfolding is dash. The manifestation, unfolding, occurrence, different terminology used to indicate, yes, maturity. All right. Okay, after this, we are going to see the principles of growth and development in the coming sessions. So I have this. I'll be sharing this material in advance for the next session, because I'll see some of you sending a message, sir, I don't have much English knowledge. Don't worry. I hope this part of English, if not one time, you can listen twice or thrice, because we are going to upload this on YouTube, and you do get this. And the only one way to learn. Just before I conclude, let me encourage and help you. I myself is a person from regional language, studied from first class to degree, Telugu mother tongue, and studied in Telugu. After my 10th class, I did not write Polytechnic entrance in spite of my teachers and friends advising and encouraging, for simple reason, because in those days, Polytechnic, as my knowledge goes, 1986, I'm talking 10th class, entrance will be in English and course also will be in English. I don't want. After my intermediate, 1988, I did not appear MSET for the simple reason, because MSET, okay, you will have in both the languages, Telugu and English entrance, but after that, the engineering course will be in English only. So I don't know English. I can't learn in English. I'm a brand mark Telugu medium student. So therefore, I did not give an attempt of MSET exam. But when I have come to graduation, I have learned it out of necessity. I happened to give a tuition to a Muslim family, 2 children. The subjects I taught to them is maths, English, and Telugu, in a mixed Hindi and English language. Because they don't know Telugu, I'm not good at English at that point of time. A little known for both of us is mixed English and Hindi. And that started my career way back in 1989 as a BSc first year student. And after that, when I have come to B.Ed, I have written my B.Ed exams in 50% Telugu, 50% English, mixed. And I have written my M.Ed exam those days of 1993, Kakatiya University. Though there is an option to write in Telugu medium, I wrote in English medium. After that APPSC school assistant exam also, I choose my language as English than the Telugu in those days. So therefore, only to encourage you, I'm not saying, like as I told, this small short story is that easy cakewalk. But also let me encourage you, it's not impossible. It's a bit hard, needs some commitment, some working on is possible. So be with us in this journey. I told, I'm not saying after this 45 days is over. No, we are going to provide. If you require English language, you are not good at language, you want to improve, there will be a batch and a course for that. A dedicated teacher will help them with the help of your mother tongue. Language and communication skills. You are not good at this technology, ICT. Yes, we have committed people to help you in those areas. All right. So that's the reason we have a long journey to go ahead. And with that, I just would like to conclude, and we'll take a short break. Our next teacher is yet to come in. It seems she has sent some message. I'll see if there is anything as promised. I'm going to fill up the gaps. Don't worry. And I wish we'll discuss maths content, because by now these 3 subjects have started. You have seen, right? You have CDP dealt by me, and English language Dr. Sujata is taking, and EVS Noor Huda madam is taking. Yeah, I see madam has come, and I'm sure she's ready to begin the session. Yes? Okay, good. Good to go. Please go ahead. And I'll make you co-host so that you can share your screen also. Yes, Huda.
Yeah, is my voice audible, sir?
Yes, it's audible, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. I hope you are in the context, moving towards your aspiring dream to qualify CTET. So as we have spoken about the family and friends, we have seen the different setup of family and the type of friends and what is the actual meaning of friends. We have gone through with that. Now we are going to start off with the other topic for our content syllabus. That is, we have the plants and animals. So we are going to look into plants and animals. This might take another one more day. I'm going to deal with it. In this tomorrow's session, I'll be asking you certain questions in relation to the topic which I'm teaching you for today. So keep in mind that you're going to have a flow of what has been, whatever the content is, and we are going to also observe the question and answers. In fact, previous year questions also I'll be including along with the new questions. Now let us begin with our session for today. We are going to start off with the chapter that is plants and animals. Let me begin with an introduction. When we speak about plant and animal, Linnaeus came up with a several sub-classification for those kingdoms. So they, according to the classification, they have kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species, or genes we call it as. So the best way to learn the order is, I have given a mnemonic here, which speaks like this. King Philip came over food for a grape soda. So from the initial letters I have highlighted here, if you could observe. So these highlighted things are the, the beginning of your grouping of this kingdoms. So when we speak about the kingdoms, the major characteristics of it, of the 5 kingdoms of living things. So we consider that all the species in a particular kingdom have certain similarities, some certain similar characteristics in the terms of their growth and the way they function. Now, when we look into the family relationship that defines nature's kingdom, which are commonness are including, which come from the common characteristics are nutrition. So either they can be autotrophic, which make their own food, those are like plants, and heterotrophic, which feeds on other living things. So we cannot say that plants are completely autotroph. We can also find there are some heterotrophic plants that are existing. So this is the kind of nutrition, one of the traits we can find that we can classify the kingdom of animalia and plant. Then all the living beings, we call it in one sentence, in one word. The other characteristics we can find is cell organization. Either they might be a unicellular, which has only one cell, or a multicellular, which has 2 or more cells in it. And next characteristics, we can find it like cell type. Okay. Cell type, either they can be a eukaryotic, it is the genetic material is surrounded by a membrane, or prokaryotic, which is not having a membrane. Then we have respiration. Either they can be aerobic, which needs oxygen, organisms which feed on oxygen or which survive on in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic, which does not require any oxygen for their survival. Then we can also call it as other characteristics that classify the kingdom. A peculiar characteristic is reproduction. They can be sexual, asexual, or through spores they go for mating. Then we have the movement. Movement, in a sense, they might be self-moving organisms or static organisms. So these are the certain characteristics for any living thing. Now let us speak about the kingdom Animalia. So when we speak about the kingdom Animalia, we are going to start with the single cells. They are called as protestas. So here we can find that these are single-celled organisms. Usually they move by a cilia, or they are also called as flagella, or they might also be amoeboid, like amoeba. They doesn't has a movement, but they has a the whole cell is having a structure which doesn't has any rigid membrane. It is movable membrane. So amoeboid mechanism it is called as. So this is one understanding. The other kind of organisms we find it like fungi, which are multicellular with a cell wall with organelles, including the nucleus, but no chloroplast, because of which the fungus are not in. They do not have they without even photosynthesis also. They doesn't has photosynthesis, so they doesn't have chloroplast in it. So they have no mechanism for locomotion. They do not move, but the spores travel in air. So because of which we can find the fungal growth. So these are a few examples. If you go through with the picture here, you can find this very interesting for you. See the algae and red algae, all those ciliated protozoans I have given here. You can go through once. Then we will go to the other one, that is plantae. Plantae are nothing but the plants which are multicellular and most do not move. All the gametes of some plants move using cilia or flagella, but organelles including nucleus, chloroplast are present, and cell wall is also present in it. And nutrients are Nutrients are required by photosynthesis. Basically, as we know, when you want to grow a plant, we need sunlight, water, and sand. So under that favorable conditions only, the plant grows. So plant also requires certain sort of nutrients for them to grow. Similarly, we can find Animalia. Animalias are the multicellular animals, move with the aid of cilia, flagella, or muscular organs. It can be based on contractile proteins. They have organelles, including nucleus, but no chloroplast or cell walls. Animals acquire nutrients by ingestions. So they need to consume and they digest that food. That is what the peculiarity of the very huge animals. Now let's go to the Monera, the other part of the other type of Animalia. So here in Monera, it includes eubacteria and archaeobacteria, which has where they are individuals are single-celled, may or may not move, have a cell wall, they have no chloroplast or other organelles, and have no nucleus. Monera are usually very tiny. All the one type, namely the blue-green bacteria, looks like an algae. One of the best examples to remember. Next, let us see the classification of animals according to different factors. So animal classification according to their structure. If we see their structure, they have classified them into invertebrate and vertebrate. When we speak about the reproduction, we have viviparous and oviparous. When we speak about the food, classification of animals based upon the food, we have carnivores, herbivores, omnivores, and detritivores. So let us see about the first classification here. As I told you, invertebrates, they do not have, they haven't got a backbone. There are lots of animal on earth which covers 90% above in the earth. So in 90% of animals, they are invertebrate. When we speak about the vertebrates, animals which has backbone, there are few animals on earth, less than 10% we can find. Now, when we speak about the vertebrate, I would like to show you a small picture here. Vertebrates and invertebrates. Here is the best example you can find. In the vertebrates, you have reptilia, birds, fishes, mammals, amphibians. When we speak about invertebrates, we have protozoa, coleonterates, flatworms, arthropods. Again, in arthropods, you have this much of classification, and we have annelid worms, molluscs, echinoderms. So these are the different types of invertebrates which has a greater classification. You can go through once with this picture as well. Then when we speak about the classification of animals based upon reproduction, we call it as oviparous animals which hatches eggs. From this O you can remember hatching of eggs. So oviparous animals are usually which hatches the eggs. Similarly, the viviparous, you can find the viviparous animals which give birth to the young ones. So the viviparous animals give birth to the young ones. So this is another type of animals, another type of classification we give. Then classification of animals according to the food they eat. So as we see, herbivorous animals are those which eat plants, carnivores which eat other animals, omnivores which eat both plants and animals, and we also have detritivores or scavengers, animals that eat the remains of the dead animals. Okay, so this is what the classification is. Now, after going through with the animals, we will go to the plant kingdom. As we see, the plants, we can have, the scientists have identified more than 2,60,000 kinds of plants. So there are 2,60,000 kinds of plants that are existing, which has been discovered by the scientist. So we can find that plants have a life which is diverse in nature. They have different ability of adaptation, and they are very environmentally successful. They provide good atmosphere to the environment. So this means that they exist in many Earth's ecosystem. So in each ecosystem, we have different kind of plant tails, plant system, plant kingdom that is existing. So all the plants are usually considered autotrophs, producing their own food through photosynthesis, which makes the food using light, and thus plants provide food to an array of consumers and decomposers. But we cannot say that the plants are only autotrophs. They are also heterotrophs animals, which we are going to speak about. Yeah. So when we speak about the kingdom Plantae, we can find that it consists of 4 major plant groups on land, that is non-flowering plants, bryophytes they are called, or mosses they are called as, pteridophytes they are called as, pteridophytes they are called as, which are ferns, gymnosperms, which are like cone-bearing plants, and it also includes the flowering plants. Let us see here first the classification, then we will go with the explanation here. Yeah. So when we speak about the plant kingdom, there are non-flowering plants and flowering plants. So the non-flowering plants grow through spores. They include ferns and moss. And it is in the non-flowering plants, there are certain spore-bearing and naked plants which grow through gymnosperms. Then you also have flowering plants. We can find the seed leaves, monocotyledons, and 2 seed leaves, they are called as dicotyledons. So let us go through with the explanation here. As we have seen, the non-flowering plants like bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. So we can find that there are flowering plants which are monocotyledon and dicotyledon, which are known as monocots and dicots respectively. There are 2 types of angiosperm plants that are available. Now let us see the characteristics of mosses. We have this simplest, they are the very simplest plant with no true roots, no vascular tissues, no transportation takes place. They are simple stem, and leaves have rhizoids for anchorage, and there are spores from capsules, which are like a wine dispersal. So small spores will be there, which will be capsulated, kind of a thing we can find. They usually grow in a damp terrestrial lands. We can find where there is a damp condition, definitely we can find the growth of mosses. And we also see a leaf which is finely divided into small parts, which underground stem root. So we can find that they are very simple, very tiny plants which we are able to observe. Then another type of plant, that is the ferns. When we speak about the ferns, we can have the characteristics like they have a root, feathery leaves, and underground stem having a vascular tissues, which are used for transport and support. So the other thing which we can find in the ferns are like they have spore producing organs on the underside of the leaves for reproduction, and damp and shady places we can find them, they are growing. And usually they have needle shaped leaves, like male cones in clusters and female cones are shattered. So in that way we can have this thing. You can see here one of the examples of one. I did not give the example, given the photo of it here. No issues. Then let us say the different characteristics of gymnosperms. The gymnosperms are usually tall evergreen trees with roots, woody stem, needle-shaped leaves. They have vascular tissue for transportation. They transport through the cones. They transport through the tissue cones with the reproductive structures. They also have naked seeds in the female cones. They usually grow in dry places as well. The characteristics of the monocotyledon and dicotyledon. Their features are they have a root, stem, and leaf. They also have a vascular tissue for transportation of the whole, like we have a nervous system, they have this vascular tissue system. And they also have flowers and fruits. Flowers and fruits are like the kids, like we have our family, we have kids, they produce flowers and then they become into fruit. So it's like that. Then when we speak about the monocotyledon, the characteristics, they have one seed leaf. They have the leaves, they have a parallel line like veins. Herbaceous plants, and they are example like grass and maize are the best example for monocotyledons. When we speak about the dicotyledons, we have two-seeded leaves, and leaves have veins in the network, like we have trees, sunflower, roses. We can find the veins like a proper network, we can find a proper structure in it. Then when we speak about the classification based on the transportation of chemicals, so here we can find that plants may be categorized as vascular and non-vascular. Vascular plants has a tissue for transporting water or sap. And another thing we find is non-vascular plants, which are generally small plants, limited in size, but poor transportation method, which for water and gases and other compounds to pass on. The other classification according to the different parts, we can find that whether they have a body part such as seeds, tubes, roots, stems, and leaves. We can also have the division of the plant in the form of, we can see here, stem, leaf, and root. So here this another type of classification based upon the different parts is also been given. And classification of plant based on the lifespan. Like how much life they live, depending upon life also, the plants are being classified. So for instance, we have annual plants, plants which naturally germinates, their flowers and dies in an year. Similarly, we have biennial plants which require 2 years to complete its life cycle. Then we have perennial plants which have plants that is active throughout the year or survives for more than 2 growing seasons. Then we have monocarpic plants, which have a plant that flowers and bears fruit only once before dying. Then we have polycarpic plants, which bear fruit repeatedly or year after year. Then we have census plants, which have the aging of a plant, accumulated damage to macromolecules, cells, tissues, and organs with the passage of time. So there is an aging that takes place in those plants. So that is the beauty of plants. Like animals, they are also similar. So there is no such difference between plants and animals. They all are all living beings. So what is the significance of a plant? When we speak about the significance of a plant in the human life, we can find that it is the main source of many lives. As we have seen, the plants will supply food, energy, they create the habitat for many organisms. A single tree may provide food and shelter to many species of insects, worms, small mammals, birds, and reptiles. They produces the product for human use, such as firewood, timber, fibers, medicines, dyes, pesticides, oils, and rubber. So the other significance why we are speaking about the plants is it has a balance, it balances the atmosphere. The greater the greenery, the better the atmosphere is. So here we can find that they produce oxygen and absorb carbon dioxide, which is a very common phenomenon we are aware of. And during photosynthesis, this process takes place. So oxygen is considered to be very essential for cellular respiration for all aerobic organisms. It also maintains the ozone layer that helps protect Earth's life from damaging UV radiation. So if you want to go away, if you want to reduce the global warming, the best part is to increase the growth of or increase the number of plants in our environment. So we also find that they are the source of removal of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which reduces the greenhouse effect and global warming. It is said that the neem plant, which we Indians are very lucky to have, this neem plant produces, it seems, 200% more amount of oxygen compared to other plants. So that is the reason we have a lot of neem plants being planted on our footpaths as well. Then the other significance is the balance the water content and maintain the temperature. This is one of the very important peculiar characteristics of plants, that they balance the water content, because the greater they absorb it when there is a rain. If the greater the absorption, there is a lot of restoration of groundwater, because of which we can find the groundwater to be increased, the water to be available in the soil, and a proper temperature is being maintained. So here we can find that the cycling water and nutrition, soiling, so nurturing the soils is being done through this plants. So it is a contribution in the form of a nitrogen and other biochemical cycles through transpiration. Plants that move enormous amount of water from the soil to the atmosphere, this makes nitrogen available to all the plants, which passes it on to the consumers. So here we have a food chain that is being carried even to maintain the atmospheric gases and atmospheric temperature, which is being balanced by the plants. Then we have another significance of the plants is they bear medicinal importance. Today we can find that there is a big market for herbal medicines, big market for homeopathy medicines. So we can find that there is a lot of market that has been, because every plant has its own its own importance, and it also has its own property which helps the animals, not only human but every animal which can get cured from the diseases. So definitely the medicine plants who are having this curative property with them, wherein they have this various complex chemical substances of different composition, which is being used for treating and preventing certain specific alignments and diseases. So they are generally considered to be, considered to be useful, and as well as certain plants are harmful for humans also. The best example I would like to quote it from Gandhiji's story, the Dhatura story of Gandhiji, wherein Dhatura seeds are from a flowering plant of Dhatura, which is poisonous in nature. Similarly, we also have certain what do you say, mushrooms, which are not consumable, which are harmful to humans, which are poisonous in nature again. Then we will speak about the benefits of plants in the development of childhood. We can find that how these plants are helpful for the development of child. So here we can find that there is gardening, which is a very best activity that can be taken up for the physical development, not only physical, spiritual, intellectual. There's a lot of development that takes place. So young children can practice locomotor skills, body management skills, and they can have an object of control skills while they move from one place to the other, carrying the tools, soil, and water, which makes them have a lot of benefit from these gardening activity. Then also we have the sentimental description of plant cultivation, allow their struggle to make them become more stronger, and adds the value of adaptability. Usually we have seen that our parents at a very young age, they used to plant a tree which also grows along with us. So definitely we also get attached one way wherein a human can value a kind of value system that they can connect to the plants. So value for human survival is very much is being given through plants, because a lot of people are dependent upon, we all are dependent upon plants, and they are happy of being themselves and move on their own pace by standing strong with their individual differences. So we can find that there is an individual differences existing among the plants as well. So there are some questions here. I would like to have a small maybe in the next tomorrow's session I will conduct these questions. There are only 2 questions here. Shall we have a discussion on it, on these 2? Yeah, we'll take up these 2 questions in the tomorrow's session. We'll have few more questions in relation to this planted animalia kingdom. So the first question is, it goes like this. Sushma wants a student to be sensitized for conservation of trees. Which one of the following is the most suitable strategy to do so? Conducting a debate in classroom, first option. Option 2, group discussion. Option 3, poster making. Option 4, helping children to adopt and nurture a plant. So if you want to sensitize the conservation of tree, the best activity that you can take up is the option 4. Because if you make the children to adapt or nurture a plant, definitely they will understand how to conserve a tree and how beautiful they are, what beautiful living creatures they are. And then we'll go with the second question. The second question goes like this. These are the previous year questions which I'm discussing here. So the second question goes like this. The EVS textbook has a chapter on snake charmer. It is intended to make children aware and be sensitized. Towards what? Let us see. The first option is that it is an illegal act. Second option, for snakes charmer, as children do not see them often these days. Or that snakes charmer may not harm snakes and they need to provide with alternative before depriving them of their livelihoods. And the fourth option is that animal keeping is good source of livelihood. What is that? It is being sensitized. So I will leave this option for tomorrow. I'll be asking again this question, then I'll be taking the answers from your end. So let me put this as a suspense for you all in the tomorrow session. So get back to you on the tomorrow session. See you all. I hope you have, I'm done with today's topic. So thank you so much. I'm done with today's session. See you all in tomorrow's session. Thank you so much.
All right. Yes, Huda, thank you so much for that session. We thought You wish to take third, but you made it to two to your own session. Great, good spirit.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Thank you so much for all your support.
See you back tomorrow. All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye, sir.
Yes. Okay. As it's 8:30 and English madam is expected in few minutes. As you are aware, actually, our daughter's marriage is scheduled in another 10 days. So otherwise she is preoccupied, but due to her commitments, she said, I may be bit late, sir, but I don't want to miss the session. So that's the good spirit with which our committed faculty is working. I hope you do understand, but don't worry, for any of such things, whenever it happens, as I told, I'm there. So I'll be filling that gap. And so that what I have planned for this session is, for the last 2-3 days, I've been telling, we will go ahead with introduction to mathematics, mathematical concepts, subject. So till the madam joins, meanwhile, I'll give you that brief introduction of mathematical syllabus part of it. Are you ready to go ahead with mathematics? Just type in the chat. Yes, ready for maths. Don't worry whether you are a math student, non-math student, you have applied with paper 2 social or mathematics. Those who have applied paper 2 with social sciences and they are not writing paper 1, they need not view or attend this particular session. Yes, let me make that clearly. And this particular session is meant for paper 1 mathematics session. So this is exclusively for paper 1. This 15 minutes or max by half an hour. Ma'am said 8:45 or 9 o'clock she'll be joining us. So until then, what I'm going to take is an introduction to your maths content, mathematics content and methodology for paper 1, and support for paper 2 also will be given by myself, as I'm specialized in psychology, pedagogy, and mathematics. All right. Yes. Thank you for confirming that. Yes, we are ready to go. Great. Chalo. Let's go back to our syllabus copy again. And as you know, we'll start from the syllabus, the brief introduction, whatever we do. All right. Okay, let me take you to the syllabus of CTET, maths or mathematics part of it. All right. Yes, syllabus only. I've got it. I'll share it my screen so that you also will be able to see along with me, and together we will go ahead. All right. Yes. Share this. Yes, somebody confirm me. Hope you're able to see the screen, the syllabus. From there, we do come to mathematics. Yes, that's paper 1. 30 questions, 15 questions content, and 15 questions pedagogy. So I was trying to help you and encourage you, saying that though you belongs to non-mathematics, please don't worry. 50% of it is the pedagogy. Anyway, you will be knowing the pedagogy. You are studying pedagogy, either you are appearing paper 1 or paper 2, whatever the stream, as a part of your preparation. And that pedagogy knowledge is going to help you. Even social studies, yes. See, look at here, language, yes. Look at here, evaluation, problems of teaching, error analysis and related aspects of learning and teaching, diagnostic and remedial teaching. What is not there? All these are there. But only a few topics like this: place of mathematics in curriculum, language of mathematics. If you are writing paper 2 with sciences stream, both science and mathematics, where these topics are still related. So therefore, most of the part of this is related. Only this content, if you are appearing paper 1, you attend. Otherwise, you may skip that as per your choice. But to give you an idea that makes sense and meaning, I'm just going through, but don't be afraid of or frightened looking at these mathematics topics, because you are not going to do or see all these mathematics. In fact, for paper 1, what I am going to teach is a general methods, simple methods, shortcut methods, or common sense method, rather I'll say. For some people, when I say shortcut, sir, a long method is a problem for us. Again, how shortcut is going to work, how we are going to remember. Don't worry. Okay. Then geometry is there. Looking at geometry, oh my goodness, I know from the beginning geometry is a problem. Please note that geometry here asked is about the shapes. Most common question in geometry is the symmetry. Who don't know symmetry? You all have been either observing or making the rangoli in front of the houses, or on your hands and the designs, or when you purchase your clothes and other clothing or house related curtains, bed sheets. Every time we are going to see one quality called symmetry. Simple, basic, square, rectangle, line, angle, point. These are basic concepts, don't worry. Shapes and spatial understanding, almost same, related. Solids around us, cube, cuboid, numbers, natural numbers, comparison of numbers, approximation of numbers. If you were to pay when you go to the supermarket, 26 rupees 85 paisa is the bill. How much do you pay? 27 rupees. Why? 26 rupees 86 paisa. Anything above 50 paisa is rounded to the next 1 rupee. That kind of numbers, don't worry. Complex numbers, compound numbers, square roots, cube roots. No, they are for paper 2 people. Okay, you don't worry. The maths and sciences category people will be asked such things for you. Addition and subtraction to pakka, you know, have been adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Only thing is, sir, when the fractions come, when the decimals come, that's a problem. Don't worry. There is a way out for that. I'll teach. If you learn, is good. If you don't learn, can't learn, still don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. Not all questions will come from with that kind of thing. So nothing to worry about that. All right. Yes. Then measurement, weight, time. Time, he says a train started in Hyderabad in the morning, 6 a.m. and it has reached 16 hours in 24-hour clock. How many hours it has traveled? Normally, we don't calculate that, but 12 hours to pakka, you know, from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock afternoon, 6 hours. And 16 hours in 24-hour calendar is 12 plus. 1 o'clock is 13, 2 o'clock is 14, 3 o'clock is 15 hours. And 4 o'clock, the 4 p.m. is 16 hours. So 6 a.m. to 12 noon, 6 hours, plus 13, 14, 15, 16, 4 hours. 6 plus 4, 10 hours. That's it. The simplest question will be like this. A more addition is a few minutes. You can do it, right? Volume, data handling. Don't worry looking at this big. Data handling is like, if a table is given, from this year to this year, is there an increment or decrement? Increase, decrease. Again, a combination of this addition, subtraction, multiplication, division on the data given in tables or on the data given in a picture form, a bar graph, pie chart. That's all. All right. Patterns, money, anyway, are well known. And the pedagogical, nothing to worry about it. And for time's sake, now I'm not going to read your pedagogic topics. When I teach topic by topic, I'm going to teach. So don't worry about that. All right. So I'll stop this. And what do we see next? If you remember the sequence, how I follow syllabus, then followed by exemplar questions, then start with a particular unit. All right. So therefore, what do we do? Now let us see the exemplar questions. All right. Let me share the screen once again. I have kept the exemplar questions ready for your convenience, and we will go ahead. All right. Let me share those exemplar questions. Yes. Share this. Okay, hope you are able to see these exemplar questions. Somebody confirm me. Mathematics. Part 2, mathematics. Not paper 2, by the way, don't worry. It's not paper 2, it is paper 1 mathematics. Okay, I will show you if you want just that also for your confirm. Yes, paper 1, child development pedagogy, which we have already discussed in the previous sessions. And now, yes, after that, what do you have is part 2, mathematics. Okay, shall we go ahead? Ready, steady, go ahead. Yes. Okay. Now see. Question number 1. In a division sum, the divisor is 5 times the quotient and twice the remainder. If the remainder is 5, what is the dividend? Now, if you are fortunate enough, familiar with this terminology, no issue at all. If you are not familiar with the terminology, you should know. How do you know? In our practice, we are going to do. In our previous questions practice also, we are going to solve. For those of you who are not familiar with this mathematical terminology, you require to answer this. I am going to write that here on the board for your convenience so that you yourself will answer this question. All right. Okay. So in division, at least you know this. The moment we say division, you will write these brackets and somewhere here something finally comes, which is known as remainder. Shesham, remainder, everybody knows, right? Okay. And then what is the other word? In a division sum, the divisor is 5 times the quotient. Quotient is something here, what it comes? 5 times of this quotient is the divisor. This is the divisor. Which is 5 times of the quotient and twice the remainder. Could you see here? The second part of the question. And twice the remainder. Whatever the remainder here is into 2. Sir, twice, 5 times, don't worry. Just look simply. If the remainder is 5, he only gave remainder. How much is the remainder? 5. If the remainder is 5, what is the dividend? Dividend is this. If the remainder is 5, twice of the remainder, 2 5s are 10. Divisor is 10. See, divisor is 10 and 2 times of this. So therefore 10 2s are 20. And if you have 25 here, 25 minus 20 is 5 remainder. Sir, how do we know? Cross-check with the information. In a division sum, the divisor is 5 times the quotient. Divisor, quotient 2, 5 times 2, 5s are 10. Tally it. And twice the remainder. Remainder is 5. Twice the remainder, 2 5s are 10. Tally it. And then what is the dividend? 25. Answers are given. Sir, because you know you have done this, is for us is difficult. Okay. For you, I'll tell. Those who think we are not familiar, we have a problem, we don't. Okay. Take the 4 options. The other option. Lastly, you come to this section. If you are worried about solving these mathematical sums, I recommend you complete all other sessions and then come to this content of mathematics. Pedagogy you do along with that. Everything is done, you have some time and then come. Instead of trying other areas which you don't know at all, you can try. That's another important precaution, by the way, right? Okay, take 52 here and try to divide with this, you don't get the answer. 15, you don't get the answer. Only 25 will fit. 10 2s are 20, remainder is 5. 2 times of the remainder, 2 5s are 10. 5 times of the quotient, 2 5s are 10. Don't worry anyway, we are going to practice. At least my intention is to give you an idea. If you get an idea and whatever the remaining things they are there. We are going to see later on. Don't worry. All right. Second, question number 2. A beaker is 3/7 filled with water. Another 16 liters of water is needed to fill the beaker to brim. What is the capacity of the beaker? Okay. Fractions, I know many of you will feel, don't worry. I just explain in the simplest possible terms. If you get it, very good. If you don't get it at this moment, don't worry. I'll start with the half is 1/2. 1 is whole, half is 1/2. Quarter, half of the half or 1/4 is 1/4, and how to go ahead with. And here simple, a beaker. How do you going to solve is, don't go into fractions if you are not good at that, you are not comfortable at. Simply what I recommend, a common sense or an ordinary common man's language mathematics is. This is the beaker. The 3/7 of it is filled. 3/7, 7 parts. 3 parts will be a little lesser than the 7 parts. Common sense, right? Everybody knows. So 3/7 is filled. Another 16 liters of water needed to fill the beaker to the brim. 16 liters, if I pour here, it is going to come full. Initially, 3/7 is like this. What is the capacity of the beaker? What is total? See, if this is 3/7, 3 parts out of total 7 parts, this is 4/7. How, sir? Total 7 parts, total marks 7. Child gets 3 marks. He got 3 marks in that exam of 7 marks exam. How many marks he lost or he is yet to get? 4 more marks out of 7. That common sense if we can make use. And I said in the very beginning introductory, unitary method. If 4/7 is equal to 16 liters, 4/7 is equal to 16 liter, how much? The whole, because to fill this is whole. 1:B. Is 4/7 is less than 1 or more than 1? That thing you should be knowing. When we teach you the fractions, proper, improper fractions. Proper is less numerator than the denominator. All proper fractions are less than 1, brand mark. So this is lesser than 1. So more by less into 16. More is 1 by 4/7 into 16, which is in mathematical solution way, we will do 1 by 4/7, 1 by 1 for your convenience, into 4/7, the by will become 7/4 into 16. 4 1 ja, 4 4 ja. So 4 7 ja, 28. So therefore, the full capacity of it is 28 liters. If you get it, is good. If you don't get it, please don't worry. Just to show you, there is a simplest way how you can solve with basic knowledge. That's my intention at this stage. I'm not teaching you how to solve that. If you are not having a basic background of that, don't worry. But when I go to this topic, yes, I will make you to solve this. I will show one. I'll give you the second one to solve then and there, and a few additional, so that you solve at your own home and your own time, and you do develop the confidence to join. All right. And we will move on to the next question. All right. Question number 3. Which one of the following is best approximation? All right. Now look at this. Looking at this, many people are afraid of stating that, sir, see, how many decimals? Not 1 decimals, fraction within the fraction, decimal. That's what is making all these years and days for you to. Okay. All right. From the English madam, the message is, sir, I may not be present to live today. Okay. If you want to join, madam, please join through the following link. I'll send that message. We will continue the mathematics for this session as long as you and I have the patience, or our time of 9:15 is up. Okay. Okay, ma'am. If you come, join with the same link. By 9 p.m. All right, because it's already 8:50. Yeah, 9 p.m. All right. Okay, don't you think that my team need to expand still, right? I need at least 1 or 2 assistants to do this. But now because you are writing your exam, otherwise I know some of you, my students, would be happy to assist me. But for the forthcoming exams, I will utilize your services. Now because you yourself is writing this exam, I want you to fully concentrate on this exam. Don't worry. I have some of my friends also to help. But right now, for managing a small group, I don't want to utilize many people services also. As we expand the team, and definitely we are going to expand. All right. The question is, which one of the following is the best approximation of 7.1 into 3.85 by 9.09? Look at the answers, you will get the answer. See, he did not divide, he did not put decimals in the answer, right? Simply round figures. If you get that idea, it's as easy as cakewalk. See, round figure 7.1 can be written as 7 into 3.85. If it is 3 rupees 85 paisa, how much you pay in the supermarket or any shop? 3 rupees or 4 rupees? 4 rupees, right? So it's not this. So check here, 7 into 4, 7 into 4, 7 into 3. 1 and A and D is gone. So 7 into 4 by 9 rupees, 09. 09 is 9 paisa. Then round figure 9. So 9. 7 into 4 by 9. That's the answer. Hope you are getting. At least thanks to CBSE has given us one example to prove you that not all mathematics sums are that complex, critical, difficult as you think at least. As some of you think at least. Hope you are getting. All right, chalo, let's move on. Okay. Fourth question, intentionally I'm skipping over. It's a pedagogy related, not right away. It's going to confuse you. So therefore I don't want to give it, but I will give you later. Now let us straight away move on to question number 5. Given below are 4 figures with line AB passing through them. In which of the figure or figures AB is the axis of reflection symmetry? Axis of reflection symmetry. Fortunately, if you have an idea of this, it is simple as. If you don't have an idea, still look at ABCD, you will get some idea. See, AB is the line name. In all the figure number 1, 2, 3, 4, what are the options given? In figure 2 and 3, in figure 1, 2, 3, in figure 1, 2, 3, 4, in all the figures 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what he is talking, if you know the reflection of symmetry, are fortunate. If you don't know for some reason, let us say, symmetry, though everybody knows symmetry. Your both hands are symmetric because when you overlay one on the other, they are mirror images. All right. So the mirror image is the brand mark of symmetry. Now with that basic understanding, reflection is that's what one reflects on the other. Now see, if I fold this, do they overlay same on one another? No, right? This half goes this here, this half comes here, they don't. Here, if you fold across this line, this exactly that will overlay one on the other. This is a mirror image reflection. Similarly, this is also. What about this? No. The Z part, this will come here, this will go here. They don't overlay one on the other. Okay. It is something like a paper when you fold exactly this half matches. All right. It is something like, for example, take this page. When I fold like this, the first half, second half, you could see only one half because one is overlay on the other. But suppose if I fold this paper diagonally like this, what happened? Are they overlaying? No. Extra? Extras, you could see this is coming over here. And if you see, this is coming over here. So across this horizontal line, it is symmetric. AB, if it is this, yes. If this is AB, the vertical line, is no. Now, from that point of view, look at these figure 2 and 3, yes. So option in figures 2 and 3, you got it. All right. Chalo, let's move ahead to read question number 6. Okay. Question number 6. Ramesh is traveling by train from Mysore to Shimoga. Mysore is a place. Shimoga is another place. Is one town, another town. If you know, you can understand like that. He leaves Mysuru at 17:14 24-hour clock and reaches Shimoga at 00:20. That is 20 minutes in 24-hour clock. What is the duration of his travel? Okay. If you are familiar with the 24-hour clock, because in railway station, particularly airports timetable, that's how they normally follow. These days, even your digital devices, by and large, unless you set for 12-hour clock, default, they will be there 24-hour clock, right? So therefore, if you are a non-maths, you wanted to do this kind of, one hint I would like to give you is, your watch timing you set to 24 hours. You will get familiarity with what is 17:40. After 12 hours, instead of becoming again 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., it will become 13 hours, 14 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours, 17 hours, 18 hours, 19 hours, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 hours is 00:00. Now here it has reached at 00:020, midnight, early hours 20 minutes. When does it start in Mysore? 15 hours 40 minutes. That is 5 o'clock 40 minutes. 12 plus 5:40. If you are not conversant with that, after 12 o'clock, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 5 hours 40 minutes. Evening 5 hours 40 minutes started. Up to 12 o'clock, how many hours? After 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. 5:40 is already done, but it hasn't gone to 6:40. They have 40 minutes. So therefore, after 17, 18:40, 19:40, 20:40, 21:40, 22:40, 23:40. 24:40 hasn't become 23:40. That's 6 hours plus another 20 minutes here, another 20 minutes there. So that is 6 hours 40 minutes. The other way around, orally, if you can do that, one option, or already, sir, it's difficult to understand and solving that orally will become more critical. Can you just please give us some practical workout on the board? Yes, here you look, that simple workout board. Technically talking, in 24 hours clock, the 24.00. From that, you take out the 17:40, the time where it has started. But unlike your ordinary regular subtractions, when you borrow here, you don't get 10. 1 hour borrowed to the minutes is 60. Because for an hour, 60 minutes, you know. So 1 hour when you borrow from 24 hours here, it becomes 60 minutes. Out of 60 minutes, when you subtract 20 minutes, it is 20. Now, 3 minus 7. This is only tens. Or simply 24 when borrowing has gone 23. 23 minus 17, 6. 6 hours 20 minutes plus after 00 hours, how much it has given here? After 00 hours, another 20 minutes extra it has become. 6 hours 20 minutes plus additional 20 minutes. So 40 minutes, 6 hours 40 minutes. Therefore, the answer is 6 hours 40 minutes. Did you get that? Hope you got it. Great. Otherwise also it's okay, nothing to worry. we are going to start what is 24 hours clock, how to solve problems simply like this. I'm going to teach you when we go to that particular topic. All right. Okay. Intentionally, I skip off 7th question and we move on to question number 8, 9. Yeah, 2 more questions are there to see. 9 o'clock only. We have time also. No problem. In an assessment conducted by class 4 teacher, Mr. Parul, a majority of her students identified 1.7 as being greater than 1.3. Which of the following exercises should Miss Parul conduct to address the misconception? All right. Okay, let's go. Let's see the alternatives. Option A, ask a student to pick one block from 7 given blocks and another student to pick one block from 3 given blocks. Ask the other students to comment on which is bigger fraction. This is one activity. Activity 2, draw 2 equal circles, each with 4 equal parts. Shade 2 parts in one and 3 parts in another. Ask the students which is a bigger fraction to test whether they can compare fractions with the equal number of total parts. See, after reading 1 or 2 already, like, oh, this is not going to happen with me, don't come to conclusion. After doing all others, those who feel like is a difficult area is going to come last. Instead of blindly putting, read all the 4 answers. After that also you don't understand, okay, put it, your choice answer, don't worry. But have this patience and persistence. Valuable things will not come free or cheap and easy. This is your dream achievement. This is your need and necessity. So you need patience, you need persistence, you need practice, you need to put hard work and smart work. So motivate, encourage yourself, throw yourself, and you are going to come out with flying colors. C. Option C, explain to students that while comparing unit fractions, the fraction with the bigger number in the denominator is always smaller. This is how your typical classroom happens normally, and rarely children get it. Option D, draw 2 equal circles. Ask students to divide one circle into 5 equal parts and the other into 8 equal parts. Ask them part of which circle is bigger. See, that's the description. So draw 2 equal circles. Let me show you on the board so that you will get it easily. All right. Yes. So 2 circles. Of equal size approximately, by the way. First one, because identify 1/7. So make 8 parts or 7 parts. That makes sense actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines you draw, 7 parts it will become. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then second circle into 3 parts. The typical 3 parts, you know, geography or other areas. 1, 2, 3. When I say 1/3 is to shade one portion of the 3 portions. When we say 1/7, 1/7 is one portion of the 7. Now, which is a larger piece? Pizza shared between 3 children, pizza shared with 7 children. In which case you will get a bigger slice? That's the simplest question, in fact. So now child understands, hey, 1/3 is greater than 1/7. So this is a good activity. That's what in the nutshell he has been giving. Hope you got that. So when you convert the things like this, it becomes. So therefore, draw 2 equal circles. Ask students to divide one circle into 5 equal parts and the other into 8 equal parts. Unfortunately, there is a slight typographical error in this. one into 3 equal parts, another into 7 equal parts. It should be given, but it's okay. Sometimes typographical errors will come. That's okay. Don't worry, sir. If it comes like this in exam, what? Don't worry. They'll give the answer 1 mark to everybody, or they will remove that from the total and calculate accordingly. But they will give 1 mark to everybody because qualifying mark is there. But they don't give to all those who attempt the answer. That's the reason I said how many questions you are going to mark the answer at the end of the exam. 150 out of 150. Why? No negative mark. So you will try. Instead of blind guess and try, read the question and try something like this within the limited understanding you have, and still you have a better addition of another 5-10 marks. 5-10 marks is a big deal. At least several lakhs of students will qualify and did not touch the qualifying mark with 5-10 marks difference. All right. So before we conclude, let us see the last question of the exemplar questions in mathematics. Question 9. You have given 3 different tasks to 3 groups in your classroom. Group 1, compare the given figures and find out which one occupies more area. Group 2, calculate the perimeter of the given shapes using a ruler. Group 3, find out how many steps you can take along the sides of the classroom walls by walking heel to toe. On what basis have these groups most likely been created? What is the basis of creation of these groups? A, based on student learning styles. B, based on students' learning levels. C, based on student interest in maths. D, based on students' cognitive ability. Now let us go back to the groups and see whether what is involved, learning style or learning level or interest in maths or cognitive ability. Group 1, compare the given figures and find out which one occupies more area. It's related to learning, by the way. Okay. 2, calculate the perimeter of the given shapes using a ruler. Again, learning level, at least learning. Find out how many steps you can take along the sides of the classroom walls by walking heel to toe. Easiest task any child can do, whether you know maths or not, whether you know fractions or not. So it's a learning levels. Learning to pakka. So your answer will be between A and B. At least C, D is ruled out. 50% you have a chance increased from 25% of correctness. Within the learning again, it's not the styles. He did not say some children are given the activity where they can see, some children given a hearing activity, some children given a task doing activity. They are the learning styles. So here learning levels, easy task, average task, a bit difficult task kind of thing. So therefore, option B is the right answer. All right. Okay, so with this, I stop here and we are going to continue this. So out of the 3 sessions, continuously you do have CDP all through this at least 30 days, 1 month guaranteed, 30 hours of CDP, and the remaining 10 plus 5, 45 days also we do have something or the other. After 30 days, because I'm going to almost cover the syllabus, I may reduce myself to half an hour, but you will have a CDP class. All right. And then followed by like this 2 sessions, 1 content, 1 pedagogy, or 2 contents, or 2 pedagogy, whatever, depending on the ongoing sessions, availability of the faculty and other factors. I'll be arranging and we will be going ahead. Before we close, what is your experience of today with regard to mathematics introduction? Does it improve your confidence? Does it gives you a sense, yes, paper 1 mathematics is doable. I'll be able to solve it. I can do it. If you get that kind of confidence, please do just type in chat before we close. And otherwise, all those of you are watching recorded sessions on my YouTube channel, still most welcome. I understand and I respect your time and your preoccupation as well, particularly today being a Sunday and the only one day in a week, particularly for working teachers and other preoccupied persons gets it. That's okay. But please do watch this session before tomorrow's session, because we will be having the continuity. All right. Otherwise, sessions will pile up and it comes a stage where you feel like, oh my goodness, I can't watch this many. Let me start with this book. You start with another book and you feel, hey, this book is not suitable, not to the point. I'm not going to get good marks or at least qualifying marks with this book. You shift to another book. And that's probably not a good strategy for those of you who would like to surely get. Thank you so much for your responses. Yes, good. It's been encouraging for us to spare the time, take this risk out of our interest and commitment to offer you to ensure, right? This 100+ hours of free coaching to make 100+ marks secured out of 150 in the forthcoming CTET exam. All right. So with these words, I take leave of you. Dr. Yakaiah, teacher educator by profession, and inspiring teachers and researchers is my passion. Thank you, one and all. We conclude. See you back live 7 p.m. tomorrow. Any other general related videos, I'll be recording offline and will be uploading there. All right. Yes.